in commerce, we, not unlike any other state or government agency and bureaucracy, have a number of institutional barriers that prevent us from being able to be as effective in the equity space as we would like. And some of that has been discovered through some great work from the Department of Commerce prior to my arrival, and the legislature and the governor, in pushing a conversation around really diagnosing what some of those barriers are. And for us, our agency, that 200 programs, $8 billion plus biennial budget, almost entirely is implemented through contracts with community organizations, nonprofit groups, industry sector focused experts, academia, and trade organizations, housing providers. It's almost entirely pushed out the door through contracting. And we do very little what I would call direct service delivery out of the Department of Commerce, which means that by definition, our entire agency relies on collaboration and partnership with, frankly, thousands of organizations and entities to deliver on the work and the outcomes that are defined by us, by the state legislature, by the governor, but also, frankly, more and more so by community itself. So that means that as we did this assessment and diagnosis of some of those barriers, our processes are all about accessibility of organizations to apply for funding. Is that distribution of resources equitable? Are those processes set up in a way that everyone has a fair shake at how they can get, do they even know how to access these potential funding opportunities? Do we have the data and the information to inform us of where the gaps are in community? How do we use that disaggregated data to inform program design? What's our relationship with these community organizations? Do we have a trusted partnership, especially to reach communities that not always most convenient or effective for government to show up at the doorstep and say, we're here to help? That we need to figure out how do we best engage, partner with community to reach community that we aren't at all remotely equipped or the trusted advocate to be able to engage with. And then holistically, systemically, do we have the mechanics that are built for that relationship with community so that we have shared perspective around what the desired outcomes are, not just at the programmatic level, but then to really get to the place where we need to, is that we have some unified vision around what are the community outcomes and indicators we're working towards. And one of the things that I've been very aware of and mindful of in commerce is that those disparate programs that we talked about earlier around housing and energy and economic development and social services, we do everything vertically. RFP, application process, funding announced, out the door, people apply, they get the funding, you get the dollars, you do what you articulate as far as what those programs are supposed to execute on. But community doesn't view its work vertically by RFP programs. Community views it horizontally, because whether you need early learning or housing or economic opportunity and workforce development, healthcare services, this is about holistic work and collective impact. And we have blinders on within our organization on that. So we've got to figure out not only how we leverage the partnership with community and begin to develop a true partnership and collaboration on that work, we also are trying to look within our organization in terms of how we leverage laterally across those 200 programs, because our effectiveness there has got to yield a view of the world in the same way that community views what's in front of them, not in silos and vertical program elements, but really as a holistic view of community